Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing awesome today on this wonderful Thursday in hot and sticky and muggy July. How are you guys doing? Give me a shout out here in the chat if you can see and hear me. Make sure everything is hooked up correctly. I like to start before I go in to the presentation today. My name is Lisa Malice. I am part of the team here at PhotoDay. If you haven't watched a webinar with me before, welcome. I hope to entertain you and give you lots of useful information today. And just some minor housekeeping rules from the time that I speak and the time that I see your chat. There's about a 10-second delay. So I'm sorry if I don't answer your questions right away, but I will get back to you as soon as possible. So, oh, good. Krista, make sure you can hear me okay, which I think you can hear me okay, because I think somebody would have said something by now if you guys can't hear me. But I am going to kick off today's webinar, which is all about private galleries. I'm going to kick it off with a video. And it's an exciting video that kind of really showcases what we're all about, right? So PhotoDay is a different workflow, a different type of sales and marketing method altogether, and was designed to make your lives much easier with managing data and images. No more submitting orders to the lab, no more late nights trying to figure out all those miscellaneous orders. So that's why we designed PhotoDay. There was a need for it. And I want to share with you this great new tool we have today. Well, newer. It's over a year old now, but it's our capture app with private galleries. So I want to show you guys this before the season kicks off. Thanks, Sandra, for chiming in. And give me 1 second while I turn off my video and play this video.
Next.
Let me see your smile.
Perfect.
Good job.
All right, next.
Smile.
Got the reference photo, thank you.
One smile. Turn to the side. There you go, look at me. And right there on the X.
All right, that was just a quick video all about capture, and that's what I'm going to showcase and live demo for you guys today. I think the most fun part about this is how it eliminates a lot of pieces of your workflow, so you are able to capture more images of your subjects, promoting more products for you to sell, which in turn gives you higher sales, higher average order values, happier parents because they have more to select from now. And that all feeds into ultimate customer happiness. So that's what we're all about. All right, guys. So let's talk a little bit about the 3 different gallery types in PhotoDay first. So if you're new, we have 3 different types of gallery types. This today is all about private galleries. So there's another webinar for group and public galleries. So today I'll just be showing you guys everything you need to know about getting started with the private galleries. So let's talk data. Now, yes, there is some data involved with private galleries, right? Because you need to know each subject, each gallery is for a specific person or subject, right? So there is some data involved, but don't be scared because there's a lot of different ways to collect data. And one of the coolest things, especially if you're coming over from like another method, whether it's paper order forms or scanning barcodes, that the way that we manage data and images is all with our shiny feature, which is FaceFind. FaceFind is facial recognition. So we're basically using an image to cluster your images together, which means there are no time stamping, and it leads to the ultimate flexible workflow for you. And you can use this in all different ways. So a CSV file, what is that? It's a comma separated value file. It's just a data file with different rows of data. And you guys may or not be familiar with this, but if you're photographing schools, usually the school supplies you with this data file so you can have a complete roster of the students at that school, so you can return that school the service items needed, right? While they're contracting you. You can get this from your leagues or teams or preschools. It doesn't matter what you're using, but if the fastest way from point A to point B is if whoever you're working with, your organization or contact, has this data file, right? But don't worry if they don't. If you're using Capture on a different type of event where there is no data because we don't know who's going to be at the event, you can always capture that data on site live in the app. And it's the great thing about Capture is that it doesn't need internet, it doesn't need Wi-Fi, it can work completely offline. And when you reconnect to Wi-Fi or cellular signal, again, it will go ahead and transfer that data into the PhotoDay cloud and populate it into your job. So it makes it very flexible. Also with the different data. So if you use a different solution before, if you had like, the images and data from a previous solution somewhere else, you can use that in PhotoDay. So you can import it, you can recycle that data or those featured photos for reference photos. And that's just a shortcut. So you don't have to capture everyone again. You can append the new data from this school year to your gallery. It'll update everyone's data, but you can still use their photos from the admin, yearbook, whatever you did in seasons or years past. So just think about it this way. Like if you're photographing in the fall and you're photographing that school again in the spring, you can recycle the data that you had already worked on, perfected and captured in the fall for spring, saving you a ton of steps in between, which is what a lot of our users are currently enjoying right now. And then there's the whole like form collection, right? Like go point somebody to a website to put the information in. So you can then import that data in the PhotoDay. And I'll show you how to do that with Google Forms, kind of like a shortcut or cheat sheet. So there's all different ways that you can get the data into PhotoDay. I just wanted you guys to realize like how flexible this really is, and you do what's right for you in your studio, your business, and your organizations that you're servicing. So, all right, advanced pay or not. So one thing that PhotoDay is not is a prepay system, which means parents are not pre-purchasing a package before they see their amazing photos. We just think that that doesn't make a lot of business sense. It really captures sales, especially when you're moving online to a full proofing type platform. But there needs to be some kind of skin in the game, some kind of qualifier for your buyers to make sure they are serious. And that's why we came up with advanced pay. Advanced pay is basically like they're buying a gift card for your store, and it's linked to their mobile number. So we'll talk a little bit about advanced pay today and how you can use that for your schools, but it is not a required service. So don't worry about it. You don't have to offer advanced pay. You can still use PhotoDay without it. But I want to show you that because our data and our current users are enjoying the benefits of advanced pay, because advanced pay purchases tend to be much higher than the purchases that do not have any advanced pay or skin in the game in advance. It also ensures that your participation and your buy rate is where you want it to be, right? Moving online is scary because it is an entirely different sales and marketing strategy, and we have the tools, the support, and the education to help you guys through it every step of the way to make your jobs a success. So that's what we're married to, you guys and your success. So I'll talk and touch a little bit on that as I go through the demo. But before we do the demo, I want to show you one more video, which kind of answers some questions all about our capture workflow. And then I'm going to do it live for you guys. So this is only a couple minutes long. If you haven't seen it yet, you will now. So if not, I was highly entertained watching it. So I'm going to go ahead and play that video for you guys.
Imagine it's picture day, and you got hundreds of delightful, charismatic, rambunctious little angels to photograph. Meet Alexa. She's a volume photographer and an extremely busy one at that. Alexa photographs a lot of kids from different schools and sports leagues. But with all of these kids comes the tedious task of dealing with paper order forms and matching thousands of images with their data. But imagine if you didn't have to be tethered, and all you needed was your mobile device. Luckily, PhotoDay created the Capture app. Capture gets rid of the traditional image matching methods and instead uses FaceFind to do all the matching behind the scenes to give you more time to just take photos.
Wait, so I don't have to do any data matching?
It works like this. First, you'll upload the subject data to PhotoDay. Don't worry if you don't have everyone's name on the list in advance. You can always add them in later in the Capture app. PhotoDay then assigns each subject a unique access code, which they'll later use to view their photos. At this point, you can set the status of these galleries to advance pay to drive sales even before Picture Day.
Advance pay? How does that work?
Glad you asked. Advance pay allows you to have your customers make a purchase even before their kids' photos are taken.
Wait, even before they see their photos?
That's right. With advance pay, you can create discount offers or give them free shipping to give them even more incentive to purchase now.
Wow.
Now that it's Picture Day, it's time to take some photos. As the photographer, make sure you have the Capture app downloaded on your mobile device.
What if I have more than one photographer?
Wow, you got a big shoot, huh? Not a problem. Each photographer can use Capture on their own device, making the entire Picture Day experience even more efficient. On Picture Day, all you have to do is fire up the Capture app, tap on the subject's name, and snap a reference photo to check them in. And that's it. You don't even need an internet connection.
Wait, I don't have to use QR codes or barcodes?
You don't need them.
What about image numbers?
Don't need those either.
What about paper order forms? Huh.
Now that you've captured the reference photos, feel free to take multiple photos, buddy shots, group shots, all without worrying about who's who. So you can focus more on taking great photos.
Wait. Isn't matching all of these going to be a pain?
Not at all. When you upload all your Picture Day photos to the job, PhotoDay's FaceFind technology works in the background, using the reference photo to match the right face with the right photos and data. Just like that.
Okay, what if they're not looking straight at the camera?
FaceFind is so magical, it'll find subjects looking in all sorts of directions.
What if they're wearing sunglasses?
FaceFind will find it.
What if they're wearing face masks?
FaceFind will find it.
What about twins?
Yep. It's magical. Now you're ready to publish. It's time to promote your galleries using flyers you can create in PhotoDay. Each flyer contains a unique access code that allows customers to see their photos that include their kid. Once your customers access the gallery and choose which photos and products they want, all you have to do is sit back and wait for the sale to roll in. PhotoDay makes the whole Picture Day process easy, so Alexa can go back to being your personal assistant.
Just kidding. Sign me up.
All right, now we're gonna get into an actual demo here. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen with you guys. All right, I got lots of tabs open. All right, so I got lots to show you guys. Okay, so first step with setting up your private galleries. If you haven't signed into PhotoDay yet, if you're new, this is where you sign into, right? This is studio.photoday.io. This is your home screen. It's got everything you need on it right here, right on the dashboard. And next, after this, there's some basic setup that you go through if you're brand new to PhotoDay within your settings in My Studio, just to make sure you have everything set up correctly. As well as you're connected to your lab. I just kind of want to show you guys the inside of this. So if you're using multiple labs, you can go ahead and add multiple labs here. Your payment information, you connect your Stripe account, because when your customer pays for their order, we disperse all the money to all parties. So your lab bill's paid, The PhotoDay fees are paid and the sales tax is collected and everything. The remainder is deposited right into your Stripe account, which you then transfer to your bank account. The taxes, if you are only operating in one state, the address that you signed up for with PhotoDay, we're going to assume that is your nexus. That's where you're remitting state sales tax. And we are going to send or collect the tax based on your nexus, as well as the destination address, postal code of your customer, right? So if you're operating out of Georgia and you sell something to somebody in Florida, and you don't have a nexus in Florida, that means we're not going to collect any sales tax because you didn't tell us you have a nexus there in order to remit it. So if you're in multiple states, this is where you would add these additional nexus here. Then we have the logo and watermark. And now while the logo will appear in multiple places throughout PhotoDay, whether it's on your flyers, at the bottom of your order receipts, good stuff like that, that's your logo for your branding, where we pull your company name back through into communications. The watermark is super important, right? So we automatically put a default watermark here. It says purchase this photo to remove watermark. It tends to deter people. Now, if your customer is shopping with our native apps, we have the PhotoDay Galleries app available for both iOS and for Android. And if your customer happen to download the app and they're shopping in the app, screenshots are blocked, right? We can put that technology in the native app. So when they try to take a screenshot, it just returns a blank screen. Now, mobile and desktop web, they don't need the app to shop in PhotoDay, but if they bypass downloading the app and they're just shopping in the mobile browser, this is where the watermark comes in. That's important, right? So I see a lot of you guys that'll put like your watermark on there and move it to the bottom left-hand corner to make it visually look great and not block your subject's face. At that point, they're probably just screenshotting because you just gave them a nice photo to screenshot and share. And there's other ways you can get them, incentivize them to get those shareable social downloads. We have another webinar all about praise sheets that walks you through that to avoid the screenshots, right? So make sure to check that out. So you can change this watermark if you want. You can leave the default. It's really up to you. And then there's users. And this is what I really wanted to get to here. So if you have multiple photographers out using Capture, right? So you're doing private galleries and you want multiple stations or multiple people using the Capture app, this is where you invite them via email. It'll send an email. They'll, check their email on whatever device they're using, whether it's a cell phone or company issued tablet or anything like that. And then they download the app, create a password, and they are in as a specific user. You can give them different levels of permissions throughout your PhotoDay dash. So if you had somebody that's just uploading and editing your photos, you can give them permission to do that, but they can't see your financials or your sales. So we have permission-based users in here. I thought that was really important to share as we go along with this demo. And you can set that all up in here. Now, by default, when you add a permission-based user, they will only have access to the Capture app, right? So you'll have to go in and toggle these different permissions on and off if you want them to have anything else beyond that. And I'll just click on this window. They can manage your Stripe, view sales, has access. So if you have like your accountant in here and you want to give them as a user and just have photographers that has access to Capture only, you can do that with PhotoDay. So, but what you don't want to do with PhotoDay is have the same user logged in on multiple devices. That's going to confuse. There could run into some issues, especially with the syncing. So make sure if you're using multiple devices, you have multiple permission-based users for those devices here. It's kind of like the one most important thing. So, all right. So after that, we have these organizations here. This is where you link your jobs to. So you might have a school that you're doing various jobs for. Joey, that's a great question. The Capture app is available for both iOS and Android devices. So no Fire tablets or anything like that. And the only thing that we really ask is that you use a device that has a decent phone or camera on it, right? Because the quality of the match is going to depend on the quality of that reference photo and the quality of the photos that you're uploading. But without fail, you'll see in my demo, it does an amazing job. It does an amazing job even with not so great reference photos. So yes, Tina, I will repeat that for you. So make sure if you're using multiple devices, if you have more than one photographer out at your events using Capture, each one has their own unique permission login. You can add them permission-based users in your settings in the studio. So hopefully that answers your question there. So I'm going to set up a new organization here because your organizations can have multiple jobs: spring photos, fall photos, sports photos, prom photos, you know, all linked to the same organization. It's kind of like a little mini CRM. So I'm going to put Winter Park Elementary, and I'm just going to say that, I'll just say that Jane Doe is my contact there. And she is an administrator, and then you can put the email there if you have it. If not, you can put multiple contacts under the organization, and I'll show you later where that comes in. So I just wanted to set up my organization here. Now, if you're going to do advance pay, you can set that up while you're creating the job, or you can set that up in advance. That would be your storefront. So over here, I can go to advance pay, and I've already went ahead and created these school credit sheets in here. I just put 1 credit. The example I'm going to use today, the sales and marketing method, is for an elementary school. So it can be different whether you're using this for sports or whether you're using it for like high school sports or youth sports or preschools or underclass. You can use advanced pay in all different ways. For this one, it's really easy. I'm gonna, you know, since we have to photograph 100% of the school anyway, my incentive is gonna be, you know, buy a $35 credit now and get free shipping, free drop shipping direct to your doorstep, right? That's the only way you're gonna get free shipping, is if you commit to buying at least $35 in pictures from me. But you're gonna get a message, it's gonna show you all the images that I took, and you're gonna get to only buy the ones that you love and mix and match in the packages. So that's gonna be my incentive. It's just one $35 credit. And then I've set that offer up as the free shipping. I just called it school free shipping on orders 35 or more. Just really basic, really easy. You guys want free shipping? Pay the $35 in advance, you get free shipping. And I'm going to show you how to pull that all together and what it looks like in marketing for your customer. So let's build a job now. I'm going to move myself off the screen while I do this because my screen's going to get really cluttered really fast here. So I am going to go ahead and add a new job. Now, I'm going to call this Winter Park Elementary Fall 21. You can call it whatever you want. I'm just using this as a starting point on how I would set it up. This is an elementary school, and I'm going to link it to the Winter Park Elementary organization that I just set up. Let's just say picture day is August 10th. And then I'm estimating the amount of subjects. Let's just say we're photographing 300 kids, and this is just for your reference. Now, if you have a school logo and you just want to brand it a little bit further for them, you could upload a logo here. I'm just going to show you where that appears and what that looks like. It's usually just in advanced pay mode. I'm just going to use this little guy. He's our little auto logo. And then you pick the time zone. So that's just where you're at. It should be set by default depending on where you're at to view all the different timestamps that you can see your published times and all that good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and create that job. And it's going to walk me through the 4 things I need to do to get up and selling. We love to say that our user experience for you guys is so easy and simple to get set up and going. It's really not that complex. So I'm going to set this up. We're doing private galleries. Once I click on that, it'll generate a unique URL link. You don't have to use this, galleries.photoday.io. It just goes right here. This is galleries.photoday.io, where they add a new gallery with their access code. You don't have to use that unique URL. It's only there for branding right now. Eventually, we want to do some more things with that unique URL. The access and opt-in codes, that's going to be generated when you add the data. It's going to generate a unique and secure code for each student or each person that you're photographing. And then you can set an expiration date for the gallery if you wish. You don't have to expire your galleries. PhotoDay has no gallery limits or archiving fees or monthly fees or anything like that. So if you choose not to expire the gallery, it's totally fine. It'll be there forever. So in the cloud. So, all right, cool. So then it'll save that and it'll bring us up to the next step, which is set up our storefront. So right away, I'm going to attach that school credit sheet that had that $35 credit on it. And I'm going to link that offer we set up, which is the school free ship on orders $35 or more. Now, you don't have to require the customer data here. This is a private gallery. So this can be used for group and public galleries. You don't have to require, but you could turn this on. And what you're doing is when the parent buys the credit, they're going to tell you who they're buying the credit for whatever reason you need that. And like I said, FotoDay has so many different use cases. That doesn't really apply to our elementary example I'm doing today, but I'm sure you guys are creatives and you can figure out a million different ways to use these features. So I'm going to head and save that. I didn't set up a price sheet or attach a price sheet yet, and you don't have to. You can get upselling and photograph without even setting up your storefronts. So let me go here to add subjects and data. So here's where, if you get the data file in advance, if you're photographing schools, they're most likely giving you the data file in advance. So what I did here is I opened this up in Google Sheets. It was just a CSV file. It looks similar to one you would get from a school with student ID, first name, last name, grade, teacher, school, and different email addresses. Now, email addresses are important with private galleries if you truly want to do paperless and not hand them back something, right? So if you are an approved vendor with your district, with that school, and you're servicing that school, these are things that you need to be able to provide that service. So as long as you bind that in the contract and you're letting them know, like, hey, these are the things I need to provide you these services, you should be able to attain those email addresses. If you're at an event and you don't have the contact information, I will circle back where you could actually create a simple Google form. It's totally free. I just put our logo on it so I could show you what this looks like. So here you can put a simple Google form together to collect all that information. This downloads as a CSV file, and you can put that back into FotoDay. That way you're just sending out one link to everyone at the school and say, hey, like, everyone go here, fill this out. And that way I know where to send your photos to. So, and you can collect email addresses this way too. And they can put their student ID in. This, once they start filling this out, it just dumps it into a little CSV file for you where you can go ahead and create a spreadsheet from here. Just create a new spreadsheet. It's just a super simple way to do it. I just wanted to show you guys what that looks like. And then it creates a simple spreadsheet that you can then use to map the data back into FotoDay or append it to the existing data that you've already uploaded to FotoDay. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and upload that example CSV file I just showed you because I wanna show you how it creates all the different records. So once you add a CSV file, it'll ask you to map. And yes, first name and last name are the two only required data fields that will be needed to use capture in advance, right? If you had no data, that's totally fine too. But these are, when you're uploading data, you need at least the first name and last name. The rest is all optional. And then you can go ahead and make sure everything is mapped accordingly. You can have up to 3 emails per person. That's for split families, right? So mom gets a flyer, dad gets a flyer, and maybe grandma gets a flyer because she's a guardian too. So, and then everyone gets that student ID and they can place their own orders and everyone's happy. So the divorced parent or split parent situation is just handled by entering more than one email address. So I'm going to go ahead and map all that data. It's going to prompt me to download the Capture app right away. You want to make sure you and or your staff does this while you're still connected to cellular or Wi-Fi before you get to the school or the organization. And that is because if you try to connect to a public Wi-Fi or the school's Wi-Fi system, you might not have a cellular signal. There might be like firewalls up that'll interrupt the use of it. So you'd want to work offline. So make sure you download the Capture app first. And I'll just show you, scoot my phone over here. I already have the Capture app over here, but you'll see when I pull my screen down to refresh, the Winter Park Elementary Fall, it'll grab it from the FotoDay cloud, and then all of my data will match, right? So I'm already connected to Wi-Fi, so it's all matching here. So I am ready to go. At this point, I am ready to go start photographing, right? But let's just say picture day is not for a couple of weeks, and I want to go ahead and start the sales cycle. because I've, hooked up my advance pay. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this gallery to advance pay mode. Now, once it does that, that means when anyone visits any of these individual access codes, they will be able to view and purchase an advance pay credit. Sandra, that is a great question. What if a new student is at the photo shoot who was not on the original list? How do you manage and capture the day of? I am about to show you that. Here's the coolest thing about using the app. Even if you're offline, FotoDay data is dynamic. It is not static like barcodes, QR codes, things like that. You can edit and add data on the fly. Even if you're not connected in Wi-Fi, when you go back and you connect that device, everything will sync. Everything will sync for you. So I'm going to show you how that looks, but it's actually pretty cool. So, all right, so I got my data here and I put my gallery in advance pay, and I'm going to go ahead and start the sales cycle. Now, I'm going to create a new flyer. These flyers are also digital, so you can download them and print them all out and drop them off at the school if you need to, or you can just email them or do both, right? Whatever you want to do. I'm going to make an advance pay flyer. Margie, I am totally showing you that right now. I'm showing you what they do if you do it in advance pay. If not, you can do this also in addition to when you publish the gallery. So yes, at what point did the parents receive their private access code? We're showing you that right this minute. So give me a second. I don't know why my internet is slow. All right, here we go. So what it did is it generated a flyer. We have a couple different flyer designs you can pick from, personal preference, what you like. You can even upload images to some of them, but for advanced pay, there's no image. I'm just gonna pick this one modern, we'll do modern horizontal right now because it looks cool. And it has like the promotion, picture day is coming, here's the date. This will automatically populate with each person's name and their access code. It gives them instructions. It tells them what the special offer is. And I'm gonna go ahead and save it. So it is really, if you got the emails in here, it is really this simple. And then from here, you can go ahead and send the flyer to each person, right? Or you can send it to a select group of people. So you can say, send it to everyone, send it to all the emails, or send it, these are for later on when you're publishing. Make sure you send emails only to people that have photos, or you want to send an email out to people that don't have photos yet. So you can do that later. It's just an optional. So right now, the only person I added email addresses for was Carly Akers here. So it's got all my email addresses, and I want to show you what that looks like. So picture day. I will say, be careful with what you type on the flyers because you could get yourself caught in some spam filters if your grammar is not awesome, if you're using all capital letters or anything like that. Just be really careful with how you name your subject lines. Don't use things like free or do this now, like, picture day information is just an informative subject line. It keeps you out of the spam filters when you're sending from FotoDay or any other system for that matter. So you can come down here on the details. You can turn the job logo on and off. You can add a different image if you wanted to just put like your studio branding or some sample images just to make the flyer look prettier. You could do that. You have some options here to change this, but I didn't do any of this. I just sent that like flyer off. I just wanted to show you guys what this looks like. I'm gonna check my email on my phone. So you can see how I sent this flyer to me as the parent, and this is what I got, right? So if you send out all the emails, all the parents got it, this is what it has. It has that personal access code on it. It has the instructions. They can either text the code or they can visit the gallery and enter that code if they like. So they can just click, copy it, and then they can come back out. And I have the Galleries app on my phone, so I'll just show you what this looks like. Paste it in here, add the gallery, and then they're gonna be prompted to buy an advance paid credit for $35 to get that free shipping. It's totally optional, so they could do that, purchase the credit, put that information in if they chose to do that, and go ahead and place their order, and it's done. Once they do that, they'll show in your job insights panel over here. You'll see your advanced pay sales start rolling in. So it's really about the communication here. So let's just say we did that communication, the school's helping talk about everyone make your advanced pay credit, get your free shipping. We're getting people pumped out about picture day. Jay Boatwright, our director of education, is really big on you making a short video of you talking to the organization about advanced pay and picture day, just a 30-second, 1-minute video, give them instructions, send it out so the organization can disperse that for you. Video is great. 80% of what we consume on our mobile devices is video related. So don't be shy, get in front of that camera, showcase your personality before picture day. It's really a great thing to start building that connection. So I'm gonna go in here and pretend it is now picture day. So this is the fun part. We got our advanced pay credits rolling in. Now it's time to execute. I'm just gonna move my screens around a little bit, so give me 1 second. Now, because I don't have all these kids at my house right now to do a live demo for you, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna screen cap them using my, I'm gonna take photos of my screen. I have like some reference photos, right? So I'm gonna click, you can filter. So this is a huge school, right? There's a little Rolodex on the side to shortcut and get to the next last name as you scroll. But you can filter by different things that you have in your data. So if they're bringing them down to you by grade and then by teacher, you can choose those options as a filter. Anything that's in your data is good. And then you filter and it'll only show you those subjects. So everyone out in the field using Capture, they can filter how they want to get to that reference photo. And remember, there are no timestamps. So you don't have to do this in any particular order at all. So, well, I meant to clear that filter, sorry. All right, so I'm just gonna go real quick here in order, and I'm just gonna take a picture and you can zoom in and out. So if you're using a tablet or anything like that, the important thing to know here is that you don't have any more faces in the background. So you wanna, photograph them up against a backdrop or a wall. If they're wearing caps, make sure you can still see their eyes and you're not shooting down on them. You want to get as much of their face as possible, but it doesn't have to be perfect, right? And I'll show you that because the way that FaceFind works is it just continuously gets smarter. And I'm just photographing a very low res image on my screen right now. So it's not even that great. And we're going to upload all these professional photos that you guys saw in the videos that I just showed. And you'll see how that works. So just going to do one at a time here, but you can see how quick this is as you go through and capture. And they don't even have to be looking right at the camera. It's not the best lighting, right? So it doesn't, and some of these are pretty low res, so they're even a little blurry. We'll see how they matched up. This is my first time doing this demo live with these actual images. So I was a little nervous at first. I'm like, oh, hope it works. But hey, man, this is your real life, right? This is real life scenario. We're really putting PhotoDay to the absolute test right now. So I'm gonna go, yep, this is the next person. Isaiah is not in here. And let's see, that's Ryland. We'll get him. And I think that's it. So you got a question like, okay, what if there's a student and I don't have them in here? What do I do, right? So there's this little plus sign. Say there's a student in front of me. They weren't anywhere in my data. I can just go ahead, hit the plus sign. I can type in their name. Their student ID will be required because their student IDs on this import. You can type in whatever grade. It'll pull from the pre-existing data. But this one's, let's just say this person's in a different grade, just so I can show you. And Smith, well, I cannot type on my phone right now. And if you have emails, that's great. It's not a requirement, but I'm gonna go ahead and add this person, and then you can go ahead and they'll be right here, and then you can go ahead and snap their reference photo. So I just wanted to show you what that looked like. I added them and it will sync up here in a second. So, all right, let me move this screen over, and we did all of our reference photos. Okay, cool. Let me get my other screen back. All right, so that is the capture process. It really is that easy, and that's really all you need to do. So now you executed PhotoDay, you came back, you have all your images, you might have post-processed a little bit in Lightroom or whatever you did, and now it's time to upload all your professional images to the gallery. So you can upload them by folder, or you can select a group of photos one at a time. Now it's important to note, PhotoDay does have some limits, has a 15 megabyte limit for uploads. And what that means is that the JPEG file saved on your hard drive can be no bigger than 15 megs or PNG. So if you're using our backgrounds feature and uploading knocked out images so they can choose different backgrounds, those files just have to be 15 megabytes after they're saved, not when you have them open, right? So after they're saved, PNGs and JPEGs are a little compressed. You don't have to change the compression level. The 15 megabyte JPEG is probably like 100 megabytes when you open it up. So Sandra, that is a great question. With Advance Pay, how is sales tax managed? So Advance Pay, since there's no tangible product, the tax is kind of like a gift card, right? It's accrual. You don't account for that for the sales tax until it's actually applied to the order. And we help you out with that in reporting. And then, yes, if you offer the free shipping, you still need to pay the lab for the drop ship. Yes, what that means is when your customer applies a free shipping discount, you pay the shipping instead of they pay the shipping. So you just got to make sure that your pricing accommodates that. You can do that quite easily and just pad the packages a little. That's why I like setting a minimum order for the free shipping, not just off anything. So, all right, I'm going to upload a folder of images if you guys want to ask questions while these images are uploading. There's a bunch in here, 54 to be exact, and they're all different. So I'm going to show you some real life scenarios where you may have forgotten to take a reference photo. There's faces that aren't matching, all that good stuff, and what to do about it once you upload. We kind of got an answer for everything going on here. So I apologize if this takes a little bit more time. I tried to resize these files a little smaller to make the uploads go faster since my internet is a little strained when I'm streaming and uploading and all that stuff at the same time. But because you used Capture and did the reference photo, what FaceFind did is it like made a little data map of each person's face. It's just a little text string that's sitting on our server. And then when you upload the file to PhotoDay, it makes another text string for those professional photos, and then it compares the two and it starts matching. So your question, Sandra, in my lab, I do not see these orders when I log in. I'm not really sure. We are not we don't have any integration with ACI, so I'm not really sure what that actually means. So sorry about that. But you can see it start matching, and FaceFind will continue to match as the files are being uploaded. And there's no like start and stop button, right? So the more photos, if you come out and do retake day and you dump more photos in here, it's just going to match them back into their files again. It's going to match them again. So it doesn't matter how many different photos you do and how often or the times you did them, it'll put them in there. Sandra, okay. I use Miller's, that's why. Okay, yeah. So the PhotoDay orders that you process with PhotoDay are just that. They're not going to show up in your Miller's account because PhotoDay is one customer to Miller's. We're just sending them all the work and they're fulfilling it, right? So they're not going to show in your Miller's account. So you're going to have to track the orders using the PhotoDay reports and PhotoDay accounts. They're not going to show up in Miller's. So just to clarify that. Okay, I was really confused for a second. I'm like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. All right, cool. So this is almost done uploading, but I love just kind of like going through here and you can see it kind of magically doing its work. As you can see, oh, this is my daughter, by the way. This is Carly. She's going into 7th grade this year. So you can see her and this other girl. They have, since her face is here, it's in her folder and it's also in Emma's as well. So you don't have to worry about copying it over or scanning another barcode with any of the group or sibling or multiple, buddy shots. It will automatically group them for you as it goes along. So it's pretty magical, guys. And just to do some quick scouting through the gallery, there's ones where look at this situation where she's got her hands over her face and it's still matched her, right? I mean, it's just like crazy how some of this works and identifies those photos. So, and then of course, this one's in all these different, you can just scroll through. I always recommend just spot checking them here before you go, but you can see there's people I didn't take a reference photo of over here and they're on that side of the screen. So I'm gonna go here to unmatched, right? So after all your photos are uploaded and everything is done processing, you can go to the unmatched section to review who didn't match. Okay, this is a great question as well. How to manage it if a sibling is in grade 5 and another's in grade 6. Do they have 2 orders and 2 shipping? No, they do not. So mom can shop for one child first, put their images, mix and match in the packages, put it in their cart, and then they can add another gallery, shop for that person as long as they're in both kids are in the same job, right? Both access codes are in the same job. She can check out together and only pay 1 shipping charge. So yes, you can do that. It's 1 shipping charge per family as long as all those kids are in the same job. So that's how that works. So let's talk about the matching scenario. So we have faces that are not matched, and most likely is because I don't have a reference photo of these kids. So, but you see that there's this one photo here where you have some faces matched. You'll see a little bubble here. It says 2 faces. It found 2 faces in this photo. So we want to go to our little match modal and we want to see who it found. So it matched her and it matched her, but it didn't match these kids, well, and these parents, because they don't have any reference photos, right? So if you want to ignore those just to clean up your unmatched, you can go ahead and ignore the faces, or you can scroll through. These are all the subjects and you can sort them by if they have matched photos. If they don't, you can sort. These are all the reference photos you took, right? Just to clean it up and see if you need to finish matching them. So I'm not going to do that right now, but I'm going to go through and say, oh, okay, so he's matched here, but that's his dad, and I don't have a reference photo. I can just ignore it, and it goes away from my unmatched. So if I wanted to kind of be a stickler and clean it all up, some of us have OCD, myself included, you can do that and get rid of, make sure you have no unmatched photos. In this case, this little girl, she didn't have a reference photo taken, right? But I have a lot of her images, and say I figured out who she was. I could take my app, and this is Elena. I can take my app and just click on her name in my app if it lets me do it, but my phone is completely frozen right now. So let me restart my app. Sorry. Restart my app. Come on, capture. Oh, what's going on? It totally froze. Oh, here we go. All right. So restart my app and then take a picture of her right on my screen, just like what we did before. And when that syncs, which it should here in a second, let me refresh. Oh, checked her in. Woof. And you can see that I just put all of her photos together, because now it knows that that's Elena, and it just grouped all of her photos out of unmatched and matched them, right? So you always have that as a backup option to just going through all your photos, but it's really that simple to get it. And let's just say this person was me and I added last minute just so I can get rid of that person. I just like cleaning up my unmatched. All right. And we'll group her and get rid of her. And let me refresh my screen here. And there I am here. And now it matched every picture with that person in it. Faces and everything. Really awesome. How much unmatched do I have left? All right, so we got some parents, and then we got some kids in here that looks like, it's cool too. At any time you can see, if you click on the photo, you can see who everybody is matched to. And if you wanted to force a match, right? So if you wanted to just drag and drop, you can do that too as you're matching. So it's actually really simple to manage your galleries in here. And I just wanted to show you what that looked like here. So let's just say the job is done. I am ready to publish and mom and dad's ready to buy, right? So I'm going to go to my store because I did not set up a price sheet yet. So now obviously you can't publish your gallery with no store, no products, no packages. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I have a price sheet already set up here. Let's see what this one looks like. I didn't want to get into setting up a whole price sheet today. Okay, this one's got packages and products in it, school test price sheet. I'm going to attach that to my job here so we can go ahead and publish that job. So when I attach a price sheet to a job, it's going to ask me to select activity. If I put any themable products like a memory mate or anything like that, it needs to know which variations of those graphics to show the parents as they're shopping. So this is just a school. There's no themable products, but I'm just going to select this all-star one just in case. And then I am going to go ahead and save it because that's just going to allow me to publish. Now, if the parent went ahead and sent a text to that access code, which let me just show you what that looks like. Go back to my email and copy. So if they did follow the instructions and if they sent a text on here to the access code, like on their device, and they purchased a credit, or even if they didn't purchase a credit and they just opted in, they are now connected to your gallery. So you'll see those people here populate as they're viewing, buying advanced paid credits, or opting in your gallery. So you can really ensure that that communication got out, right? So here, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna publish this gallery now. You wanna do this. Don't publish your gallery late at night, because if you do that, everyone that opted in or bought a credit is gonna get a text late at night. That's why we have this publish later feature. So if you're a night owl, up editing and prepping your gallery at 1 a.m., make sure you use the publish later feature and text all your people in the morning. We also have a blog post for best practices on when the best times are to publish a gallery according to our data in all of PhotoDay land. So you can always reference our blog at blog@photoday.io for some of those sales best practices, or feel free to ask the support bubble down here and our awesome customer success team will help direct you to those resources. So over here, I'm just gonna go ahead and publish it now. It's gonna warn you, hey, we're gonna text everyone, right? That opted in. You can see that I did get the text here to go ahead and view and shop for my child's photos. Because I already have the app downloaded, it's gonna ask me if I wanna open it on my app. I don't have to, I can shop mobile web. I can't really show you the experience on the app because of the screenshot blocker. So it'll get me this far, right? To bring me in the Carly's gallery and show me everything. And if I bought a credit, it'll appear down at the bottom. I'm just signed in with my account and I have a $20 credit. So if I hit contact, it'll bring up your information here. It'll say your studio name, would be happy to help, email or call you as they're shopping. We know that they're your customer, so we'll present that to them. But from here, I can't really show you on the app because when I do, this is what it looks like. The screenshot blocker, because I'm mirroring my phone, right? So instead, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like on the desktop web. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, well, that's not my right gallery code. Let me grab her code so I can show you what that looks like and punch it in and show you the experience here. So this is what they see. Access code number 1 for this parent. She's going to go in and she can view packages. If she buys a package, they can mix and match within the package. So they can zoom and crop if they wanted to. They can confirm each one. You can see how it asks them to change an image if they want variation of images, and they can do that. And as they do that, it'll show which image they picked all the way down for sake of time. And I want to show you guys one more thing. And so if they have another student that they're shopping for, and this was your question here a little bit ago, they can go back to the galleries. I'm sorry, let me grab the siblings here, and they can enter in another access code, and then they can shop for this person too. And they can buy whatever they want. Let's just say they want, I don't think I have a whole lot over here. Let's just say they want 5x7, confirm, add to cart, and then you can view the cart and you can see how they have both orders in here and then checkout. And then they get through checkout because if they bought the credit, which I have it linked on my account here for this demo, it'll automatically apply since I spent over $35. And then they can ship for free. So that is, and they put their delivery information and it goes right to the lab. After they do this, the lab sends them another text message that says they received the order. And then when the order ships, they get another text message that has the tracking information that it's on its way. So it's similar to Amazon. Now, one last really cool thing I wanted to show you guys before the end of this webinar is the reuse of, yes, Sandra, that is correct. It has to be in the same job. So as long as your siblings are all in the same job, then they can check out together. Yep, that is correct. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to show you guys is what happens if you use a different solution in the past, or you use PhotoDay and you wanted to recycle that data. So here, I just kind of dumbed it down on a data file here. I took some kids because I wanted to show you this at the very end for sake of the demo. And I have a featured photo, or like an image number for each kid here. I want to show you how you can import that, and it will use this image as the reference photo and match all images together. As you can imagine, there's like probably 1,000,001 use cases for this now. So I'm gonna do winter park test. I'm just gonna show you what it looks like. Let's just put this together. And this is really just, I'm just gonna shortcut this really quick. I'll fly through all the steps we just did. I don't really have to set up a storefront, but I can go right into photos, and I'm gonna upload that existing data file that I just showed you if there's an image name on it. So that is this data file. And if you map the image name, what this means is it's gonna use that image once you upload it as their reference photo. So I'm gonna map that data. It's gonna put those kids in here that were on that data file. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna upload the files to it. So watch what happens here. It's really cool. So it'll do the same thing, but now you just told PhotoDay, use that one image file that you're uploading as the image, like the reference photo. So you can do that too, which is super cool. So it'll do that, it'll start uploading, it'll run FaceFind, and then all of a sudden it'll say, oh, this is the image file that they want to use for the reference photo, and then it'll cluster your photos all together. So don't be shy. Like if you're photographing the same organizations over and over again, it's really cool to recycle that data. If I got a new data file from the school after this point and I want to update the kids' grades or records or anything like that, I can append another CSV file and it'll just update their records, but it'll keep the reference photos there, which makes this pretty cool. So you can already see how it started grouping. It'll take a little bit more time. We got 5 more files left. And then I'm going to show you guys featuring photos and exports at the very, very end. It's probably like the least fun part, but it's necessary. So here you can see how it's already clustered some of the photos together. It used that photo we told it to, an image name, and it started matching all the photos together. It takes a little bit of time. The speed of this really is determined on your internet connection as well as the device that you're using to make sure it is a nice, fancy, updated device and operating system, because you are using very fancy technology with PhotoDay. So, all right. And then you can see how it clustered everything. I don't think I have any unmatched here because it was all just single images of these kids, but pretty cool, right? Just a little shortcut, little secret I wanted to show you guys. That's also an ability of private galleries. So I'm going to go back here and I want to show you all about exports, right? So yeah, reference photo is like the yearbook images, April, that's true. You could use, you know, last year's yearbook images for this year's picture day, and you could just append the new data where it, you know, the kids are in a different grade, they got a different homeroom, it'll update the data. As long as the student ID, it uses the student ID as the unique identifier. If you don't have a student ID, it'll use the first and last name as the unique identifier. So it might get squirrely if you have like 2 James Wilsons. You might have to be a little extra careful with that. But as long as they got student IDs, it makes it quick and easy because that's the unique identifier for where it knows to just update that person's record with the new data. So over here, I'm going to show you how to do exports really quick. Now, you can do a couple different things. So in the photos, as you're scrolling through, you can go ahead and you can feature photos. And these featuring photos in this view is the photo that's going to be on that email when you send the publish flyer. Similar how we did the marketing flyer for the advanced pay flyer, you can send a publish flyer and then you can choose which photo. If you don't choose which photo, PhotoDay is just going to pick the random one for you. But you can also bulk feature your photo. So if you go into this subjects overview screen right from here, you can hit this little star and you can say, okay, every first image is going to be my featured photo, every first or last by file name. Or if you did some post-processing in Lightroom and you already picked it and you added to the file name featured or something, you can use that. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, okay, the first photo is going to be their featured photo and automatically feature all of that, right? Now, if the kids don't have any photos, they're not going to populate here. She doesn't have like a single image photo in her collection. So I don't think he does either. So it's not going to pick a yearbook photo because there's not a one person photo there. So it's only going to pick images that have one face in it. Because this is for service items and such, right? So now I can go to my exports and I'm going to create my first export here. So let's just say I need to give back, or I need to do ID cards, right? So I'm going to this is for my ID cards export. I'm going to create my first export here. When I go in to select my subjects, I can select all of them. I can filter people with a reference photo, people with no reference, with match, with no, like I said, there's so many different use cases. You'll figure out who you're going to export for, and then you can group them typically by grade or by teacher, however you need to group them by. I'm just going to select grade on these, and I'm only going to do people that have a reference photo. So I'm not going to make ID cards or have blank data, right? So then I can select my export type. So we have a few different exports you can do depending on what you're using your data images for. So subject data is just a CSV file. It's going to have all the data for each subject plus all their assigned images and their featured photo, right? So you can do just a simple CSV export. You can do a yearbook export. This is a PSPA, most common yearbook file. We do not have the other yearbook file types for exports just yet. But if you need other type of exports like PowerSchool and things like that, just let us know when you get to this point and we would be happy to assist you. And then there's service items here. And this is like what I'm going to do for like ID cards or an admin CD or anything like that, right? So that's basically going to be a CSV file and then each featured photo or primary photos, as we call them here, because your featured photos could be something fun that's showing to the parent, and the primary photos could be like just the headshot for the ID cards, right? So we wanted to give some flexibility here. I can set my primary photos the same as my featured, or I can go back in here and choose from those same options. So for now, I'm just going to go on first captured for my primary. And then we also have auto cropping built into PhotoDay. This is free for you guys. Exports are totally free, and so is auto cropping. So auto cropping allows you to select a preset here. It is using AI to look for the subject's face and make every subject's head the same exact size, of their face. So it's not really head sizes, it's the size of their face. So it's a little accurate here. So you can do different aspect ratios, whether you're doing a square image on the ID card or a 2:3 ratio or a 4:5, or you can do custom. For this one, I'm just going to do a square just to show you what it looks like. And then I'm going to hit confirm. And then I am going, did I turn this on? Yeah, it's automatically defaulted on. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and start my export. And then once I do that, it's going to send it up to the cloud. It's going to crop them. It's going to resize them. And it's going to tell me when it's done for me to review for the final export. So it's not quite final yet. It's going to give you a chance to review it to make sure all your data is there before you do it. So here's my ready for review. I can click here and open it up, and it's going to tell me I had some problems, right? So let's go here. So it looks like it did a good job saving all their head sizes the same, but let's see. Oh, this is missing a primary photo. So this person doesn't have a primary photo because I'm not using a good example here. There's more than one face in these images. I think they're probably all going to be primary photo issues, right? Let's see. Yeah. I was hoping I had a, Oh, they're all group photos. So that's why. So it's just my demo here, those people. So I can choose to just ignore all those issues. Let's see, because they don't have any single subject photos. And it'll go away. And then this is going to be my final export, right? These kids, all their heads are the same size, and I'm going to confirm. And once I do that, it's going to prepare for export, and then it'll let me download it from here. You can download it, send it off, create your ID cards, anything that you need beyond that is done this way. So hopefully that gives you guys plenty of insights there. If you have any final questions for me, we're just over an hour. I just wanted to make sure I showed you this up to this point. There's one major feature that we are releasing next week. So if you're here today, I will tell you that retouching will be here next week. You'll be able to upsell basic retouching per image in the cart beginning next week. So our plan is to launch that early next week. So look for that feature announcement, and all instructions will be there soon. And then we're also obviously working on some knockouts too, PhotoDay knockouts for green school images, where you'll be able to upload using PhotoDay's knockout service for headshots and 3/4 length and even full length green or blue shots. And then we'll be able to knock those out for you guys. And you can use the cool PhotoDay background feature or download those PNGs yourself and composite them if you would prefer that. So either way is going to be up to you. So woo! I am talking a lot. Hey guys, I'm back. So let me just go through a couple things. If you're new, I just wanted to go over some of the fees that are involved. I always feel like this is super important. Okay, so PhotoDay is completely free for you to use. Challenge the technology, test drive it, see if you like our interface, our customer service, all that good stuff. You guys can use it totally free. We really only get paid when you start selling something. So our fee is 10% of the transaction fee, only on the order value, not on taxes and shipping. So a lot of systems charge other ways. We only charge it before tax and before shipping, right? That's before we take our 10% fee. And then the credit card processing fee is 2.9% plus 30 cents a transaction. And like you just saw, customers can combine orders from the same job, saving you on some of that transaction fees. And then the lab costs and shipping come straight out of every order. John, that's a great question. Backgrounds is currently only available with Richmond right now. However, we are working on getting that up with Reedy and Miller's and White House and Bay and BRI. So we are working on it. We hope to continuously release them as soon as possible throughout this year. So hopefully by the end of the year, everybody will have it. But yeah, and this is all the things you get for free. This is like what we said. We're free text marketing, like you guys saw, free email marketing. You get the capture app, put it on as many devices as you want. I don't even know if we have limits for that. I don't think we do. If you guys have 100 photographers, awesome, good for you. Service items exports, the auto head sizing. We don't charge extra for downloads. If your customer's buying digital downloads from you, you get unlimited storage. We have all kinds of marketing resources and sales resources for you guys in the studio dashboard, and all kinds of educational content on our blog and at PhotoDay Academy, as well as unlimited amazing support with our great customer success team who are always there, even if you just need the vent, right? We get you guys doing that all the time. It's totally fine. If you just want to come out, vent, sound off, it's fine. Say hi, whatever you want to do. Send us a funny gift. We're here for you guys. And if you prefer a callback, just let us know in the support chat and we'll schedule a call with you as soon as we can. So all that great stuff is for you guys. I hope you have an amazing and successful fall season. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us in the bubble, or you can shoot us an email at support@photoday.io and we will be happy to help. So thank you guys for bearing with me for an hour and 10 minutes almost today. So I am really thirsty now. But yeah, any more questions, just let us know. You know where to find us. Thank you so much. And I will see you next time. Bye.